Okay, gamers. So one day while I was in the shower, I had an insanely stupid idea. Imagine if I watched a bad movie every day for a whole month. That would be funny, I think. So of course, being the stupid idiot I am, I started thinking more and more about this idea. I then saw what the next month was, and oh look, it's November. And what holiday takes place in November? Thanksgiving. And what bad movie takes place on Thanksgiving? ThanksKilling. And also ThanksKilling 3 too, but I really don't want to watch that movie again. Now, quick backstory between me and ThanksKilling. See, ThanksKilling is kind of a nostalgic movie for me. It was one of the first movies I saw that had boobies in it. And it's always been an example of mine when bringing up so bad it's good movies. But you see, I've had a bit of an epiphany recently, and I've now realized that perhaps ThanksKilling might not actually be a so bad it's good movie. It might be a so bad it's bad movie. And perhaps this leads into why I would want to do this to myself. To see if it really is just nostalgia fogging up my mind, or maybe ThanksKilling was a so good it's good movie all along. So now let's go into the actual video. What I will be doing is watching ThanksKilling once every day in November. Then I'll write down all my thoughts in a log of sorts, and lastly I will record a reading of each log entry and edit it all together into the video you are currently watching. Will I lose my sanity? Will I think ThanksKilling is good? And will there be any good commentary in my log entries? You'll just have to watch the video and see. Oh boy, this certainly is ThanksKilling, alright. Now, I have a lot to say about this movie, but I will likely say more in the coming days. Right now, I'm just gonna say that I laughed a couple of times, and I think that overall, the movie almost works as a so bad it's good movie, but it just doesn't. And I think I can explain myself better with a second viewing. Okay, yeah, I gotta admit that I still laughed a couple of times. There are just some jokes that really work, but most of them just don't. So I guess I still kinda like this movie, but yeah, it's pretty bad. Oh boy, it's election day! By tomorrow's log entry, I'll know who the next president is. But enough about politics, let's talk about funny Killer Turkey movie. Alright, so today I just want to talk about how funny I find the sheriff to be. He's probably the highlight of the movie for me. I mean, just look at this.
Fucking weather. But it was nice today, huh?
Did you just say fucking?
That's the pinnacle of comedy right there. Well, I still don't know who the president is. Anyway, ThanksKilling, am I right? Oh geez, what am I gonna talk about now? I guess since I talked about stuff that I liked, I might as well talk about the stuff I don't like. I think the actress playing Kristen frickin' sucks. Like, most of the actors in this movie suck, but they at least somewhat sell their specific character trait. Kristen is always monotone, and it's obvious she wasn't even trying. Like, it kinda got on my nerves at some point how sucky her acting was. I expect more, even from a movie like this. You know, the kills in this movie kinda suck now that I think about it. The super fake CG blood really doesn't help it either. The only good kills I can think of are Billy and Darren's death, but everything else is just kinda crap. I think I'm starting to dislike this movie more. It feels like it's becoming more and more of a chore to watch this movie, and it's only been 6 days. But I don't think I even would have gotten this far if I had done this type of thing with ThanksKilling 3. This is gonna sound like a really big nitpick, but why was everyone so excited to watch Night of the Living Dead? I get that Night of the Living Dead is public domain, so that's why they used it, but like, these guys are in college and they haven't seen Night of the Living Dead? And they watch it right after seeing all their friends die. They could have picked any other public domain movie and the scene still would have worked. But no, Night of the Living Dead will forever be the only public domain movie used in low-budget movies. There's quite a few weird line deliveries in this movie, but I've noticed that a lot of them are towards the end and from Darren. Even though he gives most of the weird line deliveries, I still think he gives one of the better performances in the movie. Although, he almost oversells being a nerd at some parts too. I guess I have mixed feelings about his performance. Has anybody here seen ThanksKilling the musical? I remember watching it like a year ago, but I only remember it being somewhat good. Maybe I'll check it out again soon. If anything, it's probably better than ThanksKilling 3. This movie really tries too hard to be so bad it's good. I mean, like I said, it almost does it well, but it really comes down to the dialogue. There are a lot of parts in this movie that are funny, but there's also a bunch of unfunny stuff that's just stupid 2000s jokes that haven't aged well. The second John Benet Ramsey joke is probably the least funny joke in the whole movie, but at least the third time they make the joke, they change it to make it not just a repeat. Always remember the rule of 3. It's just too bad it took them 30 minutes to get to the punchline. I just realized that this movie ends with a freaking Kevin MacLeod song. Listen to this. That's freaking hilarious. Please ignore all previous complaints I've made. Any movie that has Kevin MacLeod in it is an instant 100 out of 10 in my book. I'm almost considering rewatching ThanksKilling 3. If I do, I'll probably talk about it at some point, but right now, no. I will not watch ThanksKilling 3 again. Ooh, it's Friday the 13th. Ooh, spooky. Anyway, I realized earlier today that I've managed to watch this movie at least once every November for the past 4 years. So I guess that means I enjoy it. Or at least, I enjoyed it at one point. After a lot of hard thought and research, I must say that the funniest part of this movie is the Billy song. It's the most consistently enjoyable part of this movie, and whenever it plays, I can't help but crack a smile. I wonder why ThanksKilling 4 was never made. I mean, ThanksKilling 3 being the worst movie ever probably didn't help it, but that kind of stuff usually doesn't stop sequels from being made. I guess society just isn't ready for a fourth ThanksKilling. Or third ThanksKilling if you're going by the actual amount of films that have been made. You know, one thing this movie has over other bad movies is that it at least isn't boring. I hate stuff like Sharknado because the Sharknado is only in the movie for about 20 minutes, and then the rest is just boring human stuff. But ThanksKilling is 70% turkey, and the other 30% is at least somewhat entertaining. Or maybe I only find it entertaining because it's so short. I gotta say that the opening scene of this movie, despite being ridiculous, perfectly sets the tone for the rest of the movie. As soon as you see that nipple, you know exactly what kind of movie you're getting into. There's gotta be an early script for the original ThanksKilling 2 somewhere. I'm sure ThanksKilling 3 wasn't the original idea for ThanksKilling in space, but if it was, why? The more I think about it, the more I kinda want a ThanksKilling 4. Like, sure, it might suck, but I think that it could be better than ThanksKilling 3. Really, what I'm saying is that I don't want the end of this franchise to be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I forget where it was, but there was a visual gag that actually made me laugh this time around, and I have no idea why it took me this long to get the joke. Honestly, I think it's really between this movie's
Nice tits, bitch.
and The Fanatics
I can't talk too long. I gotta poo.
for my favorite opening movie line. I think that they're both equally awful, but they certainly do stick with you. Guys, I like this movie. I tried to be as objective as possible in my viewings of this movie, but I can't hide it anymore. Maybe it's because I've now seen this movie over 22 times, but it's really grown on me. It's flawed, yes, but it's a mess I enjoy quite a bit. I don't really have anything to say today. My observations were nothing of importance. Something I realized during today's viewing was that this movie works the way it does mainly because of its low budget. If you've seen ThanksKilling 3, you'd know that because of its higher budget, there's just random puppet stuff thrown in, and that stuff makes it boring. It also doesn't help that ThanksKilling 3 is 30 minutes longer than the first one, but whatever. Maybe it's time I revisit ThanksKilling 3 so I can elaborate more on why it sucks so hard. Oh boy, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I suppose tomorrow's the best time than ever to rewatch ThanksKilling 3 in the musical. They took down ThanksKilling the musical! I'm crying and shaking right now, guys. Also, I could only make it 30 minutes into ThanksKilling 3. There were various points where I felt like I was gonna stop, but as soon as the rapping grandma showed up, I had to stop. If I ever decide to make a video on it, I'll probably watch it in full, just so I can prove to you guys why it's quite possibly the worst movie I've ever seen. It just dawned on me that I've wasted about 30 hours of my life on this video. Why did I do this? Was it to torture myself? Because if that's the case, it's not really working. This movie is like B-movie. It's stupid, only like half the jokes land, and it's definitely a product of the 2000s. Yet, I love it. Even so, I probably will never watch this movie again after this video is done. Why did I even pick this movie? There's way better bad movies I could have picked for this video, and yeah, I get it. Haha, funny killer turkey movie every day in November, haha, funny. And that's what I thought this would end up being. But now I'm just wondering why out of all movies, this one sticks out to me as being worthy of a video. Well, technically 2 videos if you count the script reading I did last November. Tomorrow is the last day. I'm so glad this is all coming to a close. Like I said, I do like this movie, but I'm never gonna watch it again. Unless I decide to make a ThanksKilling 3 video, or ThanksKilling 4 gets made, I think it's time I move on from ThanksKilling. Well, that's it. I never have to watch ThanksKilling again. What have I learned from this experience? Well, I guess it's that sometimes things we like when we're younger just don't age that well. But even so, you can still enjoy whatever that thing is, even if it's quite flawed. I would say that yes, ThanksKilling is a bad movie, but it isn't the worst thing ever. It has enjoyable qualities to it, but those still don't outweigh the bad. If you like ThanksKilling, I won't fault you for that. And if you hate ThanksKilling, I won't fault you for that either. If you have not seen ThanksKilling, I wouldn't recommend it. But who knows? Maybe it'll end up being your new favorite movie, and that would be really awesome. Lastly, I would like to mention how difficult it was to rate this movie. Normally for something like this, I'd probably give it an ironic 5 out of 5, but geez, I just can't do that anymore. So, 4 out of 5 ironically, and probably 2 out of 5 unironically. So, I guess that's it. But I don't want to leave off on such a negative note. So here's some movies that did what ThanksKilling tried, but so much better. First, if you want a good horror movie with killer birds, then check out The Birds. Next, if you want an actual so bad it's good movie about killer birds, then check out Birdemic, Shock and Terror. Lastly, if you want to see what a horror comedy about talking killer birds could have been, then check out Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. Okay, that's it. Goodbye.